Welcome to Java.json. We are talking about the stream method. So as of now we have covered how to use the filter, map, reduce. We have also discussed about what is the flat map, what is the difference between with the map. Okay, now we can see distinct, sort, limit, escape, for each, collect, reduce, all those methods we can see with the example. Okay, so let's start now. So let's first take the help of the distinct method, and we can try to do some coding, and we try to understood how we can use distinct methods. Okay, so I'm going to create one class here inside the stream package. Okay, and in this class I will create basically one method called stream method use one. Okay, and in that we are going to use the distinct method which is available in the stream. Okay, so let me write one main method first. Okay, and inside the main methods we have to use the distinct. So distinct method we can apply, if you see here. So distinct methods we can apply, it's written a stream with the distinct element, remove the duplicate. So basically this method is removing the duplicate element. So for example, you have any of the collections, or maybe the having a integer, float, double, whatever the types of the value we have. Okay, for example, let me write one list, and inside this list I'm going to store some of the string value. Okay, and in a string value maybe I will take one list, and I will write list dot add list. Okay, so I will take the help of the list. So list dot off. So off is having a lots of the overloaded methods, so we can take any of the methods and we can write some of the data. Okay, for example, I have written Java is awesome. Okay, and again I have copied this Java. Okay, and I will paste it here. Okay, so in that list, if you see, having two words which is duplicate. Java is duplicate, is duplicate, sm is unique. So we have to find out the only unique element from this particular list. What we have to do, we can take the help of the distance. Even you can store here double, float, boolean, whatever the value you have, you can store and you can find out the distinct value. So whenever interviewer asks you, you have a one array and you have to find out the unique element, you can take the help of the distinct method. So if you see, this is the list, and this list I will convert into the stream, and after a stream I will call the method called distinct, and distinct will not take any parameters. Okay, and then after those value I will store, so it will return me one stream basically. But I don't want to store in the stream, I have to print it directly. So what we can do, here only we can write one for each. Okay, and inside the for each I can easily use system.out.println. You guys already know. Okay, println, and once it is print, it will print the distinct element only. Okay, let me run this code so that you can understood in the better way. Okay, but only one things guys I will tell you, please do the practice, then only you can achieve it. Okay, so if you see Java is awesome, it's printed the unique element. For example, you thought no, I don't want to just print it, I want to store in some of the other array list. Okay, in that case you don't want to print it, so remove this line of the code. Okay, and remove this line of the code, and you have to store in some of the other lists. So what we can do is, you can write here collect, and collect having a one collectors, so you can use the help of the collectors, collectors, which is available in the java.util.stream. okay, collectors dot to list or to set, you can convert it. okay, if you want to convert into the list or set, whatever you can convert it, because it's a unique element only, so set will store the unique element. So we have taken the help of the what, set. okay, let me write a set, and inside the sets all those unique elements will came. So this is for the collecting and converting to the set. This code we have written, and once I will print it, you can see the output. okay, oh my god, s out. okay, and here I will print set, so you can see that it will remove the java.json which is duplicate element easily. okay, and you can easily print the unique element only. okay, so if you see the output, you can see here java is a sum. okay, java is a sum. if you see here, it's printing java is a sum, or a sum java is, because we have a store in the set, so it will print in the something like sorting order internally, it will maintain something. okay, so based on that it will print. okay, and you can convert to the set also, so only you have to write here collector dot to set to list. okay, we have to convert to the list, so we can write to list, but make sure here we have to write list. okay, and also here you can change the name. okay, list unique data. okay, and these variables you can print it. okay, so it's will good readable format, you can see, and let me format it. okay, so this is the use of basically distinct methods. okay, and java.json, you can see this is the unique elements, it's printed basically. Let's go and understand some other methods, which is sorted method. How we can use the sorted method? Sorted method returns a stream with the elements sorted into natural order. So basically if you use the sorted, it will store the data in the sorted order. So for example, I don't want to use the distinct. okay, so here I will write a code for the, this is the distinct. okay, tint. so this is the use of distinct method we have seen. Now in the same array list, we have already array list, so in the same array list what I am going to do is I'm going to use the sort, Control Shift O. okay, now I'm going to sort this into the natural order. So this is the J, this is the I, this is the A, this is the J is, but it's not looking good because it's not a sorted order. So while doing a sort, we have to take the help of the sorting method inside the stream. So what we can do, we can whatever the list we have, so on the list, with the help of the list, we can create one stream. So list dot stream, we have created the stream, a stream dot sort. okay, so if you see here, we have a one sorted method and we have a one sorted method. It's a two method but overloaded method. So if you take the help of the sorted method, it will do the work like in the natural, whatever the data you have, like a string, integers, double float, those data it will work. But if you go with the this sorted, which is comparator, okay, so with the help of that you can do the customized order sorting also. okay, we have already discussed in the collection, so based on your requirement you can write anyone. So in that case you can write sorted, and after the sorted you can do like you can collect all those data. Okay, and after collecting, what you can do, you can collect in some of the list, or maybe you can collect and directly you can print it also. So let me take the help of the collectors dot to list. Okay, and once it is converted to the list, we can assign this list to the some of the particular collect. Okay, and here I will simply print it. So once I print the collect, you can see the output. Okay, and otherwise we can see here sorted, because we are doing the sorted only. Okay, and once I run, you can see the output. It will sort our particular array. Okay, how it sorts it? So first is asm, then is, again is, then Java and Java. So it's make it sorted order basically. Okay, so that is the very useful. Also you can take the comparator also, but for that we have to go with the some of the class we have to create, and then you have to pass here parameters. Okay, and you can use the lambda expressions, and simply you can apply the sorting also. That is also very simple. You can do the practice, you can get the idea about it. Okay guys, yeah, so we have understand okay sorting methods also, and we have see the use also for sorting this particular array or array list. Okay, the next method is limit method. So in the limit method, what we can do is we have to like it will return the string truncated to the specified size. So if you give the limit, for example 10 limit or 20 limit, so based on the limit only it will print the data. Let's take the example so that you can understand in a better way. So here if you see, this is the list of the collections we have. Okay, so this is the one of the things. Now I am going to comment this line of the code. Okay, and here I am going to write this list, and inside this list I am going to store some of the data. For example 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. Okay, 100. This is the value we have. Okay, this is the list and this is the value we have. We have to convert this for the type shape into the integer, then it will store the data. Okay, in that I want only first 5 digits. Okay, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. I don't want remaining that one. Okay, so in that situation, whenever you see, you can take the help of which method? Limit method. So you can use the limit method and you can limit it the particular printing the data. So for example we have a list, so I can apply list dot stream. So we have to convert first a stream, and after that we can apply the limit methods. And while using a limit method, we can specify the size. Hey, we have to print up to 10 only. Okay, and here only I am trying to print it. So I can use here for each, and here I can use system.out.println. Okay, system.out, and I can take the help of the reference method, method reference, and here I will write println. So simply it will print up to 5 digits only, it will not print all the digit. So if you see here, it's printed up to 5. If I give the limits, for example 2 or 3, for example 2, so what it will print? Up to 2 element only. Okay, up to 2 elements only. So in that way you can limit, you can use the limit function. Okay, and through that you can limit the particular array size whatever we have, and we can print the data. I hope guys you understood what is the basically use of limit and how we can use it. Okay, and if you see here, limit. So it's not a overloaded method, it's only one method, so we can use simply. Okay, so this is the use of limit methods. Okay, I hope guys you understood. Okay, so this is the limit method. Next, go and understand some next method. So next method is escape method. It's return a stream with the first n element of discarded. So escape means like it's not like a limit. So limit will give the first element and escape will give the after that element. So for example, in the same array list we can apply the escape method. So let me write list dot stream dot escape, and after the escapes I can pass here maybe the find. Okay, and the same things I will copy this code, and I will paste here for the printing it. Okay, and let me run this code. So if you see this, it's printed 17, 16, 18, 19 and 100. Why? Because it's escaping up to 5. So whatever the previous elements having a 5 up to 5, it's escape, and after that whatever the remaining element we have, we can print it easily. So that is also very important role playing while using a escape method. And whenever you see I don't want to print, for example, if I give here something called 4 or something called 3, so what will happen, it will escape up to 3, and remaining whatever the element we have, it will printed it. Okay, so 10, 20, 30 it will escape, and after that whatever the element we have, it's printed. So escape up to that you can use the escape method. I hope guys you understood the escape method. Okay, let's go and learn for each method. So for each already we discussed 2 or 3 times here. For each method internally we are using the lambda expression or method reference here. For printing a data, it's taking the consumer function interface for implementing these methods. Okay, so no need to discuss it. So basically for each method, instead of using a loop, we can use the for loop method. We don't want to use the loop in Java 8. We can take the help of the stream, and with the stream you can take the help of the for each, and through the for each we can perform whatever the operations you want to perform, and we can iterate the particular collections, array and files also. Okay, so this is the power of for each methods. We have already know. What is the collect method? So collect, basically we are using to collecting the data. Okay, collect basically we are using to collecting the data. For example, if I show you here, if you see what I am doing is, in the previous example we have some distinct element which is finding the distinct, which is unique element. After that, if you want to store this data in some of the list or some of the set, then we are using the collect method. And through the collect method, internally we are passing the collector, and we are converting those particular list into the list or set with the help of the collectors. So while converting any element into the collectors, we in the list or set, we can use the collect method. Okay, so I hope you understood the collect method also. What is the use of reduce method? So reduce method also we have discussed is perform a reductions on the elements of the stream using the provided identity value and the associative accommodations function. For example, what is the use of the reduce method is, for example, we have this list. Okay, right? And I want to convert this into the one of the single string. This is the list of the strings we have, and I want to convert this into the single strings. Okay, let me comment those part. And I want to convert into the single strings. What I can do? Okay, let me write here one thing. I want to convert into the single string. So while converting a single string, this list of the string, we can take the help of the reduce. Whenever you want to reduce some of the data, you can take the help of the reduce method. It's a very helpful. For example, we have a list and we can convert it to the stream, and after streams we can use the reduce. And reduce having a three types, which is the overloaded method. Reduce identity by function, reduce a string identity binary operators, and then after the string reduce binary operators as strings you can pass and we can use it. Okay, so let's take the help of this one. Okay, so here what we can do is simply we can give the space. Okay, if you want to give the space you can give the space also here. Otherwise you can do one thing, here only you can write a lambda expressions. Okay, here only you can write a lambda expression. So how we can write a lambda expressions? It will do the work on the two elements. So we can take a comma b, okay, and we can write a lambda expressions for that, and we can add it a plus b simply. And while adding a element a plus b, we can give the space. We can give the space also. So what will happen? It will take a, which is Java, and is a b, and in that it will put the space, and if I store this data it will return one string which is optional string, you can see here. Okay, and those string we can easily print it. Okay, so once I write s out, okay, and reduce a string, if I try to print it, let me show you what is the output. Okay, so if you see here, it's printing the output is called Java is awesome. Okay, but inside the optional. So I don't want with that. Okay, so what I can do is in the reduce I can use the get method. Okay, get method. So it will give me the particular object, it will not give me the option now. Okay, so we can get those data. So what it printed? Java is awesome. If I want to give, instead of the space, I want to give some of the like that. Okay, so I can use it and I can reduce it like that. Okay, if you see the output, it's printing Java is awesome. So like that operations, if you want to perform and if you want to convert a large string of the list into the smaller, you can utilize this function. Okay, after that we have some other also, like we are using this one. So let me write one more times. Okay, so for example, this is the list we have. Okay, and in this list we can pass here also some square bracket, and we can pass nothing here. Okay, and this is the lambda expressions, we can use it. Okay, like that also you can pass. So here we have not passed anything and we are applying with that one. So this is the second reduce method we can use. It's overloaded basically, and if you assign this, so directly it will assign to the string, it will not assign to the optional classes. Okay, and now that also you can directly print it, which is reduce to, okay, reduce to, and you can see the output. Okay, so basically the use of our reduce method is like whatever the data you have, you can reduce it. Okay, for example, you have something like some of the data which is you have to do the additions or something like 10 plus 5 plus something, so you can add those value also here. You can like a plus b, so it will add all those array list value and it will return one integer value. So like that you can use it. Okay, that is the use of the reduce method. Next we can see some other methods also and we can discuss it. So as of now we have completed up to reduce methods. Now we can see the 11 point, which is all match. So all match is also very important methods. And what is the use of this? Like it will also take the one predicate function, and inside the predicates it will take the help of the predicate, and then after it's written whether all elements of the string, okay, match the provided predicate. So for example, if you use the map, so for example we have a list of the array element or you want to check like those elements are matched with some particular conditions or not. If it is match all the element, then it will return the true, otherwise it will return the false. Okay, so let's start writing code for that so that you can understood in the better way. Okay, so I'm going to create one class. Okay, let me give the class name called all match. Okay, so a stream method test 1. Okay, I have created this class. Okay, inside this class I am going to write one main methods. Okay, inside the main methods, the basically we are going to talk about the all match. Okay, so if you see the all match, like how it will work. So the method we are going to talk about all match. Okay, let me write here the method name all match. Okay, what basically it will do, for example, we have a one list of the element. Okay, for example, list of integer you can say, or list of anything. Okay, and those integers, okay, we have a list of the integers, and those are the list, new array list, otherwise you can directly put the data inside the list with the help of of method. Okay, so list dot of method we can use, and here you can pass any amount of the data, okay, which you want to store here. So here I'm going to put all those number which is even numbers only. Okay, so all those numbers are the even numbers. So what I will do is, here if I write list dot stream dot, okay, all match. Okay, all match, and here I will read one by one element, okay, with the help of the lambda expressions, and then I will check those particular element, okay, is divisible, modulo division with the 2 is equal to 0, right? Then I will consider as a, okay, this is the data, okay, which is with the all match, and then after we can collect those also. Okay, so all match basically what it will do is, let me give here semicolon, okay, and let me store this data. Okay, so right now if you see here, it is returning the what, all match, which is boolean value. Okay, let me print it. So if I try to print it, all match, you can store in any one of the variables. Here you can change it also, but I have given the default one, whatever they returns. Okay, and if you print it, what you see, let me show you the code. So you got a output on the console. So let me open the console. You can see the true. Why true? Because all those numbers are the even numbers. If here I give one odd number, so it means that whatever the element having a list, which is list.stream all match, so all are not matching with this particular condition, which is even number. Okay, because I have given the condition called the even number, right? So if all the elements are the even numbers, okay, then only it will return the true all match method, otherwise it will return false. So again if I run this, okay, again if I run this code, you can see output is false. Okay, if I change anything, why it's not fixed? Okay, now it's fixed. So let me run one more times, it's a false. And if I give here, all those boolean even numbers only. So in that case it will return true. So if you see here, 10 is a even number, 20, 30, 40, 52, all are even numbers, so it's satisfying this condition. Okay, a modulo division 2 equal to 0, so it will return true, 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 all match. Okay, if any one of the members, if you make it which is not a even numbers, so in that case it will return false. Okay guys, so I hope you understood what is the use of all match. Okay, so whenever you see, I want to check all the data will match with the particular conditions or not, and you want to see like true and false, then in that case you can take the help of the all match. I hope you understood. What is the next method? So next method is any match. So any match is opposite to the all match. Okay, if any one element is matched with the predicate conditions, in that situation they will consider okay, this is fine. Okay, so let me go, okay, and write the any match method for that, and I will take the same object, not a different. Okay, and here I am going to write a stream. So I will write list dot stream dot any match. Okay, and after that any match I will use the same thing, predicate. Okay, and one by one element I will take, and I will check the particular element is divided by 2. Okay, and not equal to 0, otherwise let me take equal to 0 only, and semicolon, store this element any match, and in the next line I will print the data for the any match. Okay, and I will give here any match, I will print it. Okay, so what you understood as of now? What is the use of all match? All match means whatever the data we have inside this, if it is match with what, with this particular condition, we are returning a true, otherwise false. If anyone is not match, if false. In the any match, it's the opposite of all match. It means any match in this element, any will be match, it will return true. Let me run it. So in that case this one is returned false. Why? Because we have taken here 23, right? So 23 is not matching with this condition, which is even number. 23 is not a even numbers, but in that case the 10 is match, 30 is match, 40 is match, 52 is match. So if anyone will be match, it will return true. Got it? I hope you got it. Okay, let me do one thing. This is the 23. Okay, and here I will give the condition any one of the match. Here I will give the opposite conditions. Okay, opposite condition means I am talking about this one only. I will not focus now here. Okay, so in this list, so list having any match of the even number, not even numbers, which is odd numbers. So in this list, if you see, there is one odd number, so because of that it will return true, right? So it's not true. If you make this one is also odd number, so in that case any match which is odd number, so there is no odd numbers inside this list, so what it will return? False. So this one is also return false in that situation. Okay, if you see, so basically meaning is if any one of element match with condition, then it will return true, otherwise false. Otherwise false. So this is the condition for that one. And for this one, all the element will match, then only it will return what? True, otherwise false. Okay, so all match means all the elements will be matched this particular condition, then only it will make it true, otherwise false. And in that case, any one of the element will match, any one element will be matched with this particular condition, it means it will return true. So I hope guys you understood what is the difference between them. Okay, next we can see non-match. What is the use of non-match? Okay, returns whether no element of the string match the provided predicates. Okay, so in that case it will check if any one elements will not match. Okay, so let me write non-match methods. Okay, so if you check non-match method means in that elements we are finding like, okay, if this element is this condition will not satisfy with this element, then we can say that it's not non-match. Okay, for example, let me take the help of this one only, but I will create a new list. Okay, and in the new list if you see 20, 30 and 50 I will give here. Okay, and this one I will give the list 2. Okay, and here I will apply in the list 2 dot stream list 2 dot stream dot non-match. It's also taking the argument as a predicate, so we can take the help of the length expressions and we can implement the predicate methods. Okay, and here I am going to write, okay, it's a like non-match means here we have a already even number, so I will check the conditions with the odd numbers. Okay, not equal to 0. Okay, it's a odd number I am checking. Elements of 2 not equal to 0. Okay, so if the remainder is it will not match, what it will print? Let's see, non-match. Okay, so what basically we have done is here we have a one list which is containing only even numbers, and I am checking the conditions here. If any one of the element not equal to 0 means if any elements are available here which is what? Odd numbers or not. So if you check, no one odd numbers is available inside this list, only and only in this list having a what? Even numbers, and I am checking odd numbers and it's saying non-match. So non-match means with this condition no one of the element will match, so it will satisfy the non-match condition. Non-match, so non-match means nobody elements are the matching with that one, so it will return true. Okay, let me run it. So you can see it's written true, but any one of the element if you make it which is odd numbers, so it will satisfy the condition, so because of that it will return the false. Okay, I hope guys you understood what is the use of non-match. Okay, so all match, any match, non-match, find first. So find first is also a very important method. Find any, count, those are also very important methods. We can also discuss about it and how it will work. Okay, thanks. About find first, find any, and count, mixed or min method. What is the use of it and how we can see it? So basically, what is the use of find first? So if you learn here, find first is a method which is in the stream. It returns a optional class. So I hope you don't know what is the optional class, but in the Java 1.8 it's introduced the optional class also. So I will explain you later. Okay, but as of now you just assume that in the Java 1.8 one more feature is called optional class. Okay, so whenever you call the find first method, it will return the optional class describing the first element of the stream, or an empty optional if the stream is empty. Okay, so let's see how we can use it, find first method. Okay, so let me go to the my Eclipse. Okay, so here if you see, this is the my Eclipse. Okay, and in this my Eclipse I'm going to write a code for that. Okay, so if you see here, we have a list of the data. Okay, and I want to find out the first element of this particular list. First element, I don't want any other element, I just want first element. So if I want to find out the first element, what I can do, I can use the indexing. Okay, I can easily write like that, s out, right, and list dot get. Okay, and I will pass the index number which is 0. Okay, through that also I am able to print the first index value. But while working with the stream, maybe you can't able to see the data options, like directly face the value with the list, or maybe you have you have done some of the operations and then after you have to find out the first element in that particular stream. So in that case you can go with the find first method. Like for example, we have a list, and on the list we can apply the stream, and after stream we can use find first, right? Find first method we can use it, and once you use it, you can use here get also, so you can return the particular element on that. Okay, and you can simply store those element in one of the variables, and then after you can print it. Okay, so if I write here s out, okay, and I will print the integer. Okay, so those integer value is nothing but those whatever the value we are expecting from the first element, which is 10, that only. But the problem is, what will happen if you, for example, whatever the value you have find here, which may be the null, right, and from that null you are calling the get method. So what will happen, you get the exception. So while avoiding the exception, we are not going to call this directly get method. Okay, what we can do is, we can first store this data in one of the optional object. Okay, so if you see here clearly, it's a optional object, optional integer find first. Okay, and from that optional object, it will return, maybe even the exception will come, or maybe the data will not available, it will return empty optional. So optional having a lots of the methods. Okay, so through that optional we can check like elements are available or not. So we can write find first, okay, dot is present, having a method inside this. So if it is present, then you can print, okay, then you can print those data. So how we can print it? So here you have to write find first dot get. So through that you can print the element. If you are not getting the element, what you can do, you can write the else conditions, and here you can print elements are not available, no elements, no elements, right? So if I run this code, you can see here, okay, it's a 10, but in some of the case we are filtering some of the data and now data is not available. Okay, it's a empty only, and in that case if you call it, it's saying like no elements. Okay, but if you call directly this get method, it will throw the exception. If you want to see, I will show you, no issue. Okay, so what I'm going to do is find first. Okay, in that case it will not give. Okay, but if you directly read it, it will give the exception definitely. Okay, but let it be. Okay, I hope you understood, guys, what is the use of optional and why we are using here optional. So optional we are using the in the Java 1.8 for avoiding the exception, runtime exception basically. So whatever the runtime exception will occur, we are trying to avoid it with the help of the optional class, and we are checking, okay, if it is element is present, then only we can go and display those element, otherwise display no. Okay, if you put here one element also, it will display first position element, which is 10 only. If you put here something called 300 or something, it will behave like the same only. So I hope, guys, you understood what is the use of find first method. In the same way, we can discuss about the, let me comment this code. Okay, first copy and then I will do the comment. Okay, so in the same way we can use the find any method. So if you go to the slide, you can see here the next method is find any. What is the use of the find any? It returns a optional describing any element from the stream or an empty optional if the stream is empty. Okay, so basically find first and find any is behaving like a same, but only minor difference we have. Okay, what is the minor difference? So let me put this code here. Okay, this is the code. So for example, we have a sum of the data which is 10, 20, 30, 40. Okay, 40, 50, 60. Okay, this is the value we have, and now I have to apply here we can apply on the stream directly, which is find any. Okay, and why I am applying the find any is because we are doing the filters. Okay, find any. So if I do the same things, if I run the same things, you can see it's behaving the same way. It's finding the 10 only, which is first element, right? But maybe in some of the case what we are doing is we are doing some of the filter. Okay, and inside the filter we are checking, okay, if the particular number is, whatever the numbers we have, which is greater than 50 or 60. So I will write here e greater than 60. Okay, in that case what will happen? So actually I have applied here filter. If I bend it to the next line, so if you see this code, so what I have done is I have applied the filter on the list of the streams, and I am filtering the element which is greater than 60. So this element will check with that one, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 is greater than 60. So no one of the elements are greater than 60. Then what will happen? In find any, it will return no, not like that any of the elements are available. So in that case we can check it and we can store those data also. Okay, in the boolean forms or something like whatever the numbers we have, those also. Okay, so if you see here, no elements are the availables. Okay, let me remove this and let me apply here control 1. So it's written find any, and on the find any only I will put here, right? So this is the find any. Okay, I hope you understood, and here we have applied the filter on the particular streams, right? So this is the value. We have 16, more than 16. So if I run this code, we have seen like, okay, no elements are available. But if I give the conditions like, okay, we have some element which is greater than 40. So greater than 40 having a one element which is 50. So in that case it will display 15. If I give something called 13, what will happen? What is the first element? Okay, so if I print it, it will display the 14. So just after that, whatever the elements we have which is greater, it will print it. So whenever you see like, okay, I have to filter some of the elements with the find any, it's available or not, I have to check it, then we can go with the find any method. It's also very important method. Okay, let's see the next method. So next method is count. It's return the numbers of the element in the stream. That is also very simple use case for this element. Okay, so if I show you what is the use of the count methods basically. So for example, I have written here s out, and inside the s out I will write list dot stream dot count. So right now if you see how many elements are there inside this list, 1 2 3 4 5. So this will display the 5 elements are available inside this list. So this is the output of count. Okay, so whenever you want to check, okay, I want to check that number or that numbers is how many numbers are available inside the list. Okay, maybe the 1 lakh, 2 lakh, 3 lakh, whatever. So it will easily calculate how many numbers are available in that particular list. So we can use the count. Also, for example, you have to do the filter, and after the filters you have to find out how many now elements are there inside the list. For example, I am going to write here filter one, and inside the filters I have written something called E, and only I have to find out the even numbers or odd numbers. So I will check like, okay, modulo division 2 equal to 0. Okay, and now I will say what is the count of this even numbers. Okay, so if I print it, it's saying like, okay, 5. But here if I give something called 15, so 15 is not a even numbers. In that case what will happen? So in that case it will print, okay, only 4 elements are available which is even numbers. If you give this one is 21, you can give 31. Okay, if you give 51. Okay, so in that case only 1 elements are available which is even numbers. So it will print the count of the even numbers, right? Okay, so in that case you can use the count method. That is also very important. Okay guys, okay, you can see the max method, which is taking the help of the comparator, and we can find the maximum value from the array or list, whatever. So it's return the maximum element of the stream according to the provided comparator. And you can use the mean also. It's the same thing, but only you have to do the like find the minimum or maximum value. Okay, let's see the example how we can use it. Okay, so for example, you have a one list or maybe the array, whatever. In that you have to apply the max or min method, and in that for example in that data only we have to find out what is the maximum element and what is the minimum element. Okay, we have to find out. Okay, so if you see here inside the list we have seen like 12 is a minimum element. Okay, it's the minimum, and maximum is 51. Okay, so let me quickly write a code for that with the help of the stream, and we can try to find out, okay, how we can do it. But if you go with the collections, so in the collections I will tell you first how we can do with the collection. So if you go with the collections, so collections having a some of the method. Okay, like we have a some utility class for the collections. Okay, and inside the collections having a method called max or min. Okay, so you can use those methods and you can find out. Okay, you can just pass here list. So it will take one list, and based on this list you can store the data here, and it will return the max element. Okay, if you want to find out the min element, you can write collections those same thing. Okay, collections dot mean. So we have a mean also, and here you can just pass the list. So automatically it will find out what is the minimum element and what is the maximum element, and then after you can simply print it here. Okay, so here what you can do is you can write max, and then after we can print max like a max. Okay, and then after we have to print the minimum. So I will write min, and I will print the min element also. Okay, so this is the one of the it's also come inside the Java 1.8 only, but it's available in the collections utility class. Okay, so we can do through that also. So let me print it so that you can see what is the output. Okay, so this is the one way to find out what is the maximum 51 and what is the minimum element, which is 12. So we can do like that also. So this is the one way, but we don't want to do with this collection utility class. Okay, basically we are going to write a code with the help of a stream. So in a stream also we can do the help of the lambda expressions, we can do with the method reference. Okay, lots of the things we have. So let's go with the lambda expression. Okay, lambda expressions. Okay, and here what we can do is we can write whatever the list we have. So first those list we have to convert into the stream, and then after the stream we have to write a max, and max will take what? Comparator, and comparator is what? It's a functional interface. Okay, so we can take the help of the comparator, and comparator will take two parameters. So I'm going to pass here a comma b. Okay, and we can write a lambda expressions here. Okay, we have already discussed in the details how we can provide a implementations for the function interface methods. Okay, so in that way we can write here, and here you can write a dot compare to what? B. A compare with B, and whatever the value we got, those value we have to store inside the our data. Okay, so we can write here get, and those element we can store. So give the name called mix1, right? And same code, we don't want to change anything. We don't want to change anything. Let me maximize it. Okay, and don't change anything, just write like that. And this line of the code we can print it. Okay, and here we have to write the min1, and the code will be same, but we have to change the method min. Okay, and here we can print the max1. Okay, and min1. That's it. Okay, so this we can do with the lambda expressions. So what we have done, we have converted the list into the stream, and on the stream we have applied the max method. And max method, if you see, it will take the comparator, and comparator is a function interface, and function interface having a what method to compare to. In compare to, it will take two parameters. Okay, so we are passing the two parameters a comma b and lambda expressions here. Okay, let me format it, and then after we are comparing a dot compared to b, and we are fetching those data, and we are storing inside this max1. I hope guys you understood. If you not write get, it will return one optional class, and then we can do it. Okay, let me print so that you can see and you can understood what is the output. So if you see what is the output is max and minimum is 12. Okay, if I run once again, you can see the output. You can see the output. Okay, so this is with the help of the lambda expressions we have done. Okay, same code, only minor difference we have to do, and we can write for the functional interface. Okay, functional method reference, you can say. Okay, method reference. Okay, and let me format it. Okay, and here what we have to do is, let me go maximize it. Here max to mean to method will be same, but we don't want to use the lambda expressions. So here what we can do is, we can use the, instead of this one, we can use here method reference. So what is the method reference? So here we have to pass integer because we are doing the operations on the integer data. Okay, so we can write here integer, and this is the integer class, and we can give the method reference, and then after we can pass compare method. Okay, we can pass the compare method, and through that our problem will resolve it. Okay, and same thing here also, we can just copy this. Okay, and we can remove this lambda expressions code, and we can write a method difference here. So what will happen, we can see, okay, how to convert lambda expression into the method reference. Okay, how to convert lambda expressions into the method reference. Okay, so this is the method reference code, and let me print the same thing, method 2 and 2 here also. Okay, so those data we have display here. Let me run it. So I can write here 2, this one also 2, this one 1, this one should be 1. Okay, let me run this code so that you can see the output. Okay guys, so if you see the output, like, okay, max one is 51, 52, 51, 52. So like that we can find the max element and min element inside the particular array or whatever. Okay, array or collections. Okay, so this is the code, you can see guys. Okay, it's a very simple. So one thing is, you can do with the help of the collections utility class, and if it is not, you can take the help of the lambda expression. If it is also not, you can take the help of the method reference, and you can do it in the very simple way. If you don't want to write and you don't want to confuse with the help of the lambda expression, in lambda expression so many people are get confused, but in method reference it's a very easy. But only things you have to remember is, like, what is the data and what are the method we are going to call here. Okay, those things we have to be clear, and if you aware about the functional interface, you can easily know it and we can do it. Okay, I hope guys you understood, and we have completed as of now all those methods which is available in the stream. Okay, in the next tutorials we can see what are the methods are available in the collectors, and we can discuss about it. Okay, thank you so much.